Young Thug has been making headlines due to the high-profile RICO case against him and other YSL members. With the case still not underway, there has already been a lot of drama surrounding it. One of the most shocking details emerging from the case is the rumor about jurors being afraid of Young Thug. Jurors are, of course, protected from defendants, but for some reason, people chosen for jury duty are opting out. So why are jurors scared of Young Thug? Sneaky activities. The YSL RICO has been filled with drama right from the very beginning. One of the most drama-filled issues has involved the selection of jury members for the case. In the U.S. justice system and high-profile cases such as the YSL RICO, jurors are required to be willing and able to provide the judge with a fair verdict. Jurors are charged with the responsibility of deciding whether, on the facts of the case, a person is guilty or not guilty of the offense for which he or she has been charged. Since the jury is responsible in deciding whether a defendant is guilty or innocent of the crime that they are accused of, the process is always strenuous and time-consuming. This is because it is important to select a jury that is objective and will not have any biases when it comes to looking at the evidence to determine whether one is guilty or not. After all, they're dealing with people's freedom. In some cases, when the death sentence is on the line, jurors have the power to decide whether a defendant is sentenced to death or not. The jury selection process in the YSL case has not been the smoothest ride for anyone involved. The process began in January 2023, but has been rather unsuccessful for the most part. First, it is important to mention how jury selection for this case has gone on so far to understand why it has taken so long for the court to come up with the final 12 jurors for the YSL case. Jury selection was initially supposed to take only 5 to 6 weeks. However, more than 6 months later, the jury is yet to be finalized. Already there are reports that the YSL RICO trial is set to be the longest and most extensive trial in the history of Fulton County, as it is expected to take at least 9 months. By the end of March, 600 jurors had been called up. The jurors were then to listen to the indictment for 4 hours, fill out questionnaires, and be heard for hardship. The end goal is to have 90 jurors, from which 12 would be chosen. One of the most prominent hurdles that the court has encountered in jury selection is the amount of hardship claims that have been filed by the potential jurors. Claiming hardship during jury selection means that a potential juror is stating that they are facing significant challenges that would make it hard or even impossible for them to serve on the jury. In the U.S., serving on a jury is considered a civic duty and an essential part of the justice system. However, the law recognizes that there are legit reasons why some people may not be able to fulfill this duty. When a potential juror claims hardship, they are usually required to provide specific details and evidence to support their claim. Some common examples of hardship may include tough financial constraints, serious health issues, caregiving responsibilities, or the inability to take time off of work without causing extreme hardship in their daily lives. When potential jurors submit hardship claims, it is important for the court to look into the legitimacy of these claims to ensure that the potential juror has legitimate reasons to be excused from jury duty. While the court tries its best to understand and accommodate genuine cases of hardship, they're also obligated to balance the importance of having a diverse jury pool. If too many potential jurors are excused due to hardship claims, it could result in a less diverse jury, potentially affecting the fairness and length of the trial. According to reports, on one day, 122 out of 200 potential jurors submitted hardship claims. At one point, more than 400 jurors were expected to have the opportunity to make their cases as to why they should be excluded from jury duty. There was a wide range of reasons why the jurors wanted to be excused from jury duty. Multiple jurors cited work constraints. For many of them, their place of employment would only allow them a limited number of days to serve jury duty, and with the case expected to become the longest in Fulton County's history, they could not make it. For others, financial constraints were the primary reason for being excused. Despite the hardship reasons seeming genuine, there has been wide speculation that there is more than meets the eye. The high number of jurors opting out of jury duty is not only worrying, but has also lifted a few eyelids. Are the jurors scared of being part of the jury? Are they afraid of Young Thug? Some of them have been caught doing some bizarre things that may suggest that they really don't want to be a part of the case. One potential juror was found to have gone on vacation in the midst of jury selection. Court officials later found out that she flew out of the Dominican Republic for the weekend. The judge ordered the authorities to wait for her at the airport and bring her directly to court. She was later found in contempt of court. However, the judge provided an alternative solution to the 20-day sentence attached to the offense, or a $1,000 fine. The potential juror was required to draft a 30-page essay detailing the history and significance of jury duty. I want you to talk about jury service in Georgia and discrimination, at minimum, the judge said. In another bizarre incident involving potential jurors in the YSL case, one did something that may have landed them in hot water. On the 5th day of jury selection, Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, revealed shocking details regarding one of the jurors. Apparently, one of the the potential jurors had tried to contact Brian Steele's law firm via email. Though the content of the email wasn't disclosed, it was enough for the judge to call for an investigation of the matter. This juror was not the only one that was caught in 4K doing some shady business in court. This next individual was seen filming court proceedings and ended up with a 3-day jail sentence. On March 17, 2023, the potential juror, identified as Juror 1004, made the mistake of recording the trial proceedings on her phone. Before the trial even began, the court had emphasized strict rules against unacceptable jury behavior, including the use of cell phones and social media during the proceedings. Even though she was warned, the juror got caught doing something she shouldn't have done. Another juror saw her recording the proceedings and told the court officers about it. On March 20th, 2023, Juror 1004 was served with an order to show cause, instructing her to appear in court on April 3rd, 2023. During her hearing, the judge confronted her about the violation and questioned her understanding of the court's instructions. She explained that she was a first-time juror and got confused in the commotion of the courtroom. She didn't fully comprehend the rules and was not aware of the consequences of her actions.
The young lady next to me had told me that you did say we wasn't supposed to be doing any of that, and this is my first time. That was my first time ever being in court in my whole entire life, so I wasn't really sure of anything we couldn't and could not do. So I do apologize for that.
However, the judge reminded her that he had gone through the rules and expectations multiple times, emphasizing the seriousness of following them. Despite her apologies, the judge found the juror in willful contempt of the court's order, and as a result, she was sentenced to 3 days in jail as a consequence of her actions. If you thought drama with the jurors was over, then you thought wrong. It would only get even more bizarre as a potential juror had the audacity to insult the judge to his face. Hip-hop historian and investigative journalist Dennis Byron, who has extensively covered the trial of the was on hand to share some updates regarding the rapper's case. More drama erupts in the courtroom where the YSL RICO trial is underway when a potential juror called presiding judge Ural Glanville a Byron wrote on Twitter. The judge then held her in contempt of court. As the case drags on, it will be interesting to see what more bizarre things the jurors do before the final 12 are chosen. However, so far, the process has been nothing near normal. Even the case itself is one that no gang member wants to be caught up in. RICO charges are dreaded by gang members. Passed in 1970, the racketeer-influenced and corrupt organization RICO Act aimed to take down organized crime organizations. Before the RICO Act was passed, prosecutors only had the ability to individually try crime that was mob-related. While a specific mob member would be prosecuted for a particular crime they committed, prosecutors found it impossible to take down a whole criminal organization at once. With the RICO Act, prosecutors were given the ability to do this. However, now prosecutors do not just use RICO in mob prosecutions, but have also utilized the law to prosecute everything, from street gangs to politicians. One of the reasons RICO cases are feared is the time frame of the commission of a crime. It turns out that a person charged with a RICO violation must have been engaging in a minimum of 2 predicate crimes, such as robbery or distribution of a controlled substance, within a 10-year time frame. These crimes must also have been committed in connection with a gang. Those involved in the YSL RICO have reason to panic, not only because of the charges leveled against them, but also the lead prosecutor in the case, Mrs. Fani Willis. Georgia's district attorney, Fani Willis, is no walk in the park. I mean, she is known for going after the former president, Donald Trump, for trying to interfere with the 2020 election results in Georgia. Her no-nonsense attitude was revealed when she revealed that the state would be using the rapper's lyrics as evidence in the case. The fierce DA defended her use of lyrics to prosecute gang members in a fiery press conference.
Well, they're kicking indoors, committing home invasions, and now I'm using those lyrics that they're admitting to doing that. I'm going to continue to do that. People can continue to be angry about it. I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used, or at least get out of my county.
Using rap lyrics as evidence is a controversial issue, and many people have concerns about its use in legal cases. Some may worry that law enforcement simply listens to rap songs and arrests individuals based solely on the lyrics. However, law experts claim that song lyrics, like any other form of artistic expression, are only considered as evidence only after a crime has taken place. Suspects have been identified, and other evidence has been collected. In recent times, there have been cases where rap lyrics were used as evidence, and one notable example is the 6ix9ine case. Even before the 9 Trey gang, which the rapper was involved with, was taken down, his lyrics had drawn the attention of authorities. They believed that his music contained proof of organized crime and gang conspiracies. During his testimony, prosecutors even played parts of 6ix9ine's popular song Gummo. What's more, they presented the song Kuda, which 6ix9ine claimed to have named after one of his friends. Prosecutors considered the lyrics to be incriminating, and they went as far as presenting a transcript of of the songs in court. Considering the fact that his lyrics were going to be used against him as evidence in court, Young Thug tried to use it to his advantage. According to sources, a month after the indictment, Young Thug made a plea from jail. Young Thug was scheduled to perform at Hot 97 Hot Summer Jam, but due to his arrest, he couldn't. However, his presence was still felt through a pre-recorded message that was played towards the end of the night, and the rapper had some things to say to his fans. He said that the case wasn't just about him or YSL, and that it was about the denial of freedom of expression that all black artists and rappers experience. Thug said that he used his music to express himself, but at the time, it seemed like that freedom was at risk. He asked everyone to sign the Protect Black Art petition and keep the indicted YSL crew members in their prayers. So what's the deal with the Protect Black Art petition? It's actually a collaboration between Kevin Liles, the co-founder of 300 Entertainment, the label that initially signed Young Thug, and Julie Greenwald, the chairperson and CEO of the Atlantic Music Group. Together, they were urging federal and state personnel to pass laws that would restrict the use of rap lyrics as evidence in court. Their goal was to safeguard the creative expression of black artists and rappers. Despite all this, there is a strong feeling that jurors really do not want to be involved in this case, and who can blame them? There have been reports that since the YSL gang was taken down, there has been a 35% decrease in the murder rate, which is a wild statistic. Although this has not been fully confirmed, it could shed some light into some of the fears potential jurors have. However, there could be some evidence that they are actually afraid for their lives, from prosecutors admitting that people fear Young Thug to the rapper openly threatening people. Here are some reasons jurors may actually be scared of the YSL boss. Why jurors are scared. Jurors are not the only people who fear Young Thug. According to one of the prosecutors in the case, even members of YSL are afraid of the Atlanta rapper. The prosecution even revealed that the rapper had been calling the shots even when behind bars. A video of the court proceedings also painted him as the most dangerous of all the arrested YSL members.
He's the one directing traffic.
According to the prosecution, the rapper was extremely dangerous and has been vocal against granting him bail as it may jeopardize the case.
He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge.
What is more damning is the fact that both indicted YSL members and those not indicted in the charges have expressed their fear of Young Thug.
We have taken proffers from fellow members from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him.
But this was not the most damning evidence against the rapper. It turns out that Thugger has been threatening his own people. With Young Thug's fellow gang members allegedly turning on him, it seems as though he has decided to turn to desperate measures. Threatening the guys who can put you behind bars is not the wisest move, but Young Thug definitely doesn't see it that way. According to the prosecution, the rapper has sent a clear message to everyone. Cooperating with the cops is grounds for death, both for them and their family members.
That if they cross him, he will them and their family.
Young Thug has not been doing himself any favors, as he has continued to openly threaten people, even on social media. In what many described as a careless move, an ominous tweet was posted on his Twitter page. In the tweet to Michael Phelps, Thug says, "I'm talking with my roommate and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore." At first glance, the tweet seems harmless. It seems as though the rapper is harmlessly sharing his thoughts on Twitter. After all, that is what the platform is used for. However, on close inspection, it is easy to connect the dots and realize that Young Thug may have been sending threats. If you are familiar with the Italian mob stories, then you must be familiar with the phrase "swimming with the fishes." If so, then you can also connect the dots and see through Young Thug's tweet to reveal its true meaning. Basically, the tweet insinuates killing someone and dumping their body in the ocean. This was a common tactic used by mobs to get rid of their enemies. The phrase was also used by the mobs to strike fear into people, as no one ever wanted to end up swimming with the fishes. Well, Thugger soon found out that his actions had consequences, as the tweet was used to deny the rapper bail. While Thug's lawyer argued that it was a family member who had tweeted on behalf of his client, the judge was concerned that if Thug could send messages to his family in any way, then he could also send threats to witnesses. Interestingly, it is easy to tell that YSL members are afraid of Thug by their actions. So who are these? And what have they done to show that they are in fear? The first example that comes to mind is none other than Young Thug's close friend Gunna.
The deal that set Gunna free, a major development in a huge racketeering case. The Atlanta-born rapper, Gunna, whose given name is Sergio Kitchens, made a deal with prosecutors and walked out of the Fulton County Jail late this afternoon.
Famous rap star Gunna had been among those indicted in the RICO case. He had been charged with 1 count of racketeering. According to the indictment, he allegedly received stolen property and was in possession of drugs, including methamphetamine, marijuana, and hydrocodone, with the intent to distribute. Of course, Gunna denied the charges. However, he was denied bail twice, which may have finally broken the horse's back. He agreed to take a deal that would see him go free. Now, this is where things get interesting. It is important to first revisit the relationship between Gunna and Thug, as this will shed light on why jurors consider Thug dangerous and seem hesitant to take up jury duty. According to reports, the two rappers met through a mutual friend on the video shoot for Young Thug's With That. According to Gunna, the mutual friend was his uncle, Keith King Troop, and his death in 2015 brought him and Thug closer together. In an interview with Genius, the rapper revealed that his relationship with Young Thug was never about music. Interestingly, the two were just close friends. However, later on, Thug became interested in Gunna's music.
It was never like on no music shit at first. We were just like friends, you know what I'm saying? Homeboys in the street. And then it just grew over time of me just doing my music. And then he just kind of like had a look in on it.
In an interview with Billboard, 300 Entertainment's chairman and CEO Kevin Liles was asked about Young Thug and Gunna being a dynamic duo. The music executive revealed that their relationship was like Batman and Robin. He emphasized that the two worked hand in hand, with neither bossing the other around. If one needs to lead, one leads. If one needs to follow, the other one follows, he said. Kevin Liles further explained that to some degree, Young Thug, even though was still successful before Gunna came into the picture, may not have survived at the top for very long without Gunna's presence. In his own words, without Robin, there's no Batman, and without Batman, there's no Robin. Having established that Gunna and Thug are extremely close, what followed after Gunna took the plea deal is reason enough to be afraid of Thug. The question on everybody's minds was whether Thug had given Gunna the green light to take the deal, or did Gunna do it just to save his own skin? Remember, Gunna's plea saw him initially sentenced to 5 years with 1 year served. However, a judge commuted the 1 year sentence to time served and suspended the 4-year remaining balance subject to conditions, including 500 hours of community service. Overall, the deal meant that Gunna would be a free man, but had he really given the prosecutors something that would put the YSL boss behind bars? Well, a video emerged showing Gunna in court dropping a few words of truth before a judge.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Gunna admitted that YSL was not only a music label, but a gang. He further admitted to witnessing some YSL members participate in criminal activity as a gang.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
When this video was leaked, the industry was ablaze with people calling Gunna a rat. Gunna went on the defense immediately. His lawyers even took to Instagram to deny the rumors that Gunna had snitched. Gunna did not snitch to get out of jail, the post read. He has said nothing and is not cooperating. His plea statement cannot be used in court against any other defendant. It turns out that the rapper had taken an offered plea. This means that he did not admit guilt, but instead admitted that there was enough evidence to convict him. As part of his offered plea, Gunna's statements would only apply to his case and could not be used in subsequent cases. Well, according to the rapper, he was not going to be a state witness, nor was he planning on getting involved in the trial any further. I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. The rapper claimed that when he joined the label, he did not see it as a gang. When I became affiliated with YSL in 2016, I did not consider it a gang, more like a group of people from Metro Atlanta who had common interests and artistic aspirations. According to the rapper, his focus at the label had always been making music. My focus of YSL was entertainment. Despite all this, major players in the industry retaliated. First, Thug unfollowed Gunna. Hip-hop sensation Lil Durk sneak dissed him in a song. Apart from that, Lil Baby, who is also Gunna's best friend, also unfollowed him on Instagram. For anyone who doesn't understand the relationship between Gunna and Lil Baby, here is a sneak peek.
Would you say Gunna's your closest friend in the industry?
Yeah, definitely. I like consider Gunna like we ain't friends, you know what I'm saying? Like we like more than friends. So.
Even though Gunna is Lil Baby's closest friend in the industry, Lil Baby was also close to Thug. Now it is important to remember that the video of Gunna testifying was leaked. Who could have leaked it? Did Thug do it in an attempt to have people turn their backs on Gunna? Also, Gunna and his lawyers had come out and revealed that the rapper had not snitched. They had also made it clear that his testimony would not be used in anyone's case. From the behavior of those close to Thug and Gunna, it was obvious that Young Thug was not happy that Gunna had taken taken a deal. There seems to be a consensus that there is no way Lil Baby and Durk would have unfollowed Gunna on social media if Thug had not given them the green light. Even after Gunna tried to clear his name, Thug, who he considered his closest friend, had gone ahead and tried to destroy his rap career. Thug seems like a wounded lion as he lashes out at people who he considers backstabbers. And it seems Gunna is on that list as he may be blackballed in the industry because of this situation. You might be getting a clear picture of why the jurors in this case may be a bit hesitant to take up jury duty. Young Thug's threats to his own gang members and even close friends while still locked up paints the picture of an extremely dangerous man. Also, if his own gang members are afraid of him, it is pretty reasonable to assume that jurors would be experiencing the same. However, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The prosecutor's revelations in court don't even begin to tell the story of why jurors are afraid of Young Thug. There's a whole lot more. And to understand this, it is important to first take a deeper look into YSL and their activities in the streets. Young Stoner Life Records, YSL, has produced some of the finest hip-hop artists in the last decade. The record label, based in Atlanta, Georgia, was founded in 2016 by the Atlanta-based rapper Young Thug and is a label imprint of 300 Entertainment. The label was announced on November 15, 2016. The label did not take long to get up and running. A few months after it was launched, it signed its first artist, Sergio Giovanni Kitchens, alias Ghana. In 2022, tragedy struck. On May 9, 2022, the law came down hard on YSL members. The prosecution alleged that YSL members engaged in a wide range of criminal activity. The 56-count indictment claimed that YSL members were involved in crimes such as murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, theft, drug dealing, and carjacking. In addition, 3 YSL members were charged with attempted murder in connection with an attack on rapper YFN Lucci, who was stabbed in jail in February of 2022. The indictment highlighted Young Thug as a sort of mob boss and was heavily involved in the gang's activities. Most notable was the allegation that he was involved in the murder of a rival gang leader in January 2015. This was none other than Donovan Thomas Jr. It turns out that Thug had allegedly rented a car from Hertz that was used during the murder. When you think YSL's alleged crimes cannot get any more bizarre, Lil Wayne's name pops up. Everyone remembers that in 2015, Lil Wayne's tour bus was shot up. Well, 7 years later, more details regarding the incident surfaced in the YSL RICO case. Lil Wayne is famously remembered from his Young Money days and his father-son relationship with fellow rapper Birdman. However, their relationship turned sour, leading to a public fallout. According to an indictment, Birdman and his newest talent at the time, rapper Young Thug, plotted Lil Wayne's murder. The duo's involvement in the case of Young Thug's former road manager, Pee Wee Roscoe, was arrested in connection to the drive-by shooting of Wayne's tour bus in Georgia, in which no one was hurt. Although the authorities found Winfrey guilty on charges related to the shooting, the YSL RICO indictment suggested that Birdman and Young Thug may have ordered him to kill Lil Wayne. Roscoe was named in the YSL indictment, although he was previously sentenced to 10 years in prison for the shooting incident and has already served his full term. If his crimes are not yet enough to convince you of how dangerous Young Thug is and why jurors may be afraid of jury duty in this case, perhaps his influence may change your mind. Young Thug, being very rich, is also able to pull a lot of strings with powerful people and organizations even while still in jail. This was seen when complaints about his jail cell conditions caused a public outcry and even forced prison officials to respond to the backlash with a tour of the jail cell. It's no secret that jail is not a fun place. After all, it is designed to house criminals. If anything, people would be surprised if jails did not have hardship and poor living conditions. So it was a little weird when reports that Thug was complaining about his cell conditions surfaced. Young Thug and his lawyer went public with information that the rapper's living conditions in jail were inhumane. Was Thug really being housed in inhumane living conditions, or were they trying to drum up sympathy for the rapper? In a statement to the press, the rapper's lawyer claimed that his client was being held in a windowless cement compartment. He added that the cell only had a bed, toilet, and overhead light that remained on the whole day, causing Young Thug sleepless nights and depriving him of rest or meditation. According to the attorney, his client could not access any media, including the internet, shower, or even exercise. According to Thug's lawyer, the rapper's prison experience could easily be likened to solitary confinement, even though he had not yet been found guilty. Months before he took a plea deal, Gunna had also come to Thug's defense. In a Twitter post, the rapper confirmed that Thug's living conditions were not the best. 22 and 2, just a bed and a shower, no windows, just walls. Can't see or talk to anyone. This confirmed his lawyer's public claims about his jail conditions. This is where the story got even more bizarre. The allegations caused outrage amongst civil rights organizations. Organizations such as the Southern Christian Leadership Conference got involved in the case. Thug is not the first person to be housed in that jail, so why was there so much outrage? Could it be that Thug was pulling strings while behind bars? This could easily show how much influence Thug has in Atlanta. In an effort to fan the flames, the Cobb County Sheriff's Office invited WSB-TV to visit the jail and confirmed that the allegations brought up by the rapper were false. According to the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, they wanted to show the public that they were not doing anything they did not want them to see. The jail's officials did confirm that young Thug was being kept in isolation. However, they noted that it was for his safety since he was a high-profile individual. Although the camera crew was not given access to the rapper's actual jail cell, they were shown a similar one. True to young Thug claims, the cell had very little space for one to exercise. However, he was not treated any differently from other inmates, as they were subjected to the same rules. Whatever it is, there is something fishy going on with the jurors in Thug's case. Do you think they are scared of the YSL boss?